if he's able to fend off that nasty Lance of West that just recently got a buff here. We've already seen some solid Lance gameplay today. You see from the giant banana already on the screen that he does have the Princess Bubblegum Lord Vrax skin. So Wesley definitely showing us a little bit of the gamut of Lance characters he has under his belt.
Yeah, definitely has quite a pool of Lance characters to pick from. On the other side, Monexo, that Koji does bode well in my opinion. Again, no clue on how much time he's put into that Koji as of late, but if going off of a previous set, we saw how well the bow was able to do against Yuza's Lance, but right now, not even thinking about it, as West hits another side air and is going to be going up already above Monexo. That
was a less than 40-second stock that West is able to open this one up with. Now, normally when we see two players who are kind of far apart from each other, not that Monexo is really that far away because he's coming into this one seed 7, but when you compare that to West's seed 2 and the pedigree that West has, normally like game 1 is where the sort of quote-unquote lesser player, the underdog, if you will, has a better chance to come out on top. Like if it's not a 3-0, there's a lot of times we'll see it be game 1 goes to the underdog, and then it's a straight 3 games for the quote-unquote more history, more storied, more pedigreed player. It was a nice even up from Monexo on this one. Didn't take too long, and he definitely didn't take too much damage. Has the guitars back in his hand, gets a nice 2-piece. West is going to answer back. Another 2-piece coming out from Monexo. Again, West is able to answer back, but only with 1 hit.
Yeah, but Lance will hit a little bit harder. Again, goes for that down sig read. Monexo was able to avoid it the second time in a row that West has gone for it. Monexo avoids it, but still damage being done. And now West going to be going to the heavier swing and axe, looking to finish off the stock of Monexo. It's going to take more than just a side air.
Monexo's getting into the later stages of the dark orange here. It's not going to take too much before Monexo is in the red. West will be looking for that side air KO. That's going to be a nice little bit of a guitar bonk on the head. Not going to be too much damage. Doesn't really interrupt anything major that West was going into.
Ooh,
yo!
Caught the movement.
He even grabbed the taunt on that one. He ripped that taunt early, and he held it because he knew. And it was close, man. West was just inches away from reaching out his little fingers and touching that wall, but couldn't quite make it. Monexo opening up the final stock as well. Has some really good momentum on his side. That neutral air, definitely not a KO move.
Oh.
Is able to get through that GC side signature from West. Finds the punish, several moves. It's a neutral signature, not a huge dunk, but it's on stage. The momentum is just completely snowballing in Monexo's favor.
What a complete reversal from how this started. West started off huge, and since then has not been finding the reads, and Monexo is going to take game number 1. A fantastic down air, catching the recovery of West. Things looking good for the underdog, but this is like you were talking about, right? The David and Goliath situation. I'm sure the Goliath wanted a best of 5, but David took game number 1.
That was really impressive from Monexo. Not only to just know that he could grab that taunt safely and still secure the KO, but to really fight that one out to the end. He got that like one explosive moment of that ground pound and then was able to take that momentum and continue with it.
I really believe that getting that ground pound fired up Monexo in a special way. It really made him feel good, and you saw him taunting. You know he was feeling proud with how game 1 was going, and now we're seeing West make the swap over to the Artemis for game number 2.
Even though the Koji is Monexo's top-played legend, he still has a level 73 Asuri coming into this one. We're seeing this switch from West. This is definitely something we talked about in the pre-show before the tournament today about this sort of cast of characters, most all of them with lances that West could be moving through during this tournament. That gives him a lot of options. Of course, this being a best of 5 gives him a little bit of experimentation time. Nice neutral signature coming out there. Not going to be enough to KO. Did that lance actually bonk him on the head?
Yeah, I think it added a little bit of extra damage, but it wasn't enough, and Wes, in trouble, does dodge through the ground pound this time, but he needs to finish the stock off of Monexo before Monexo brings us back, and Monexo is definitely swinging.
There's a weapon spawn on the field. Wes is going to grab it immediately, getting a little bit reckless here with some of these moves that he's queuing up very early when Monexo's really far away from, maybe hoping that Monexo's just going to fall into them. It hasn't really worked so far. Nice side air there, but it's going to be high and all the way on the right side of the stage. That bonk is not going to be enough.
Wes,
he was so close.
Yeah, he was able to get that stock, but just barely. Like, this is not the confident that we expected from PR number 2 in the region.
Definitely.
Monexo already evens it up immediately. All right. Scythe in hand for Wes. Again, this is kind of the off weapon, and generally speaking on people who really truly main lance, that off weapon can be rough.
See Monexo landing a lot of side light in lights on the Qatar kit. That time, he did a side light into the D light, went for the turnaround down air. There's a nice two-piece from West, going to add up a little bit of damage. They are so even on this second stock. Momentum is a little bit in West's favor. It definitely is in his favor now. Doesn't quite have enough strength on that to get the immediate KO. Will Monexo make it back? West is going to make sure the answer is no.
Yeah, good coverage from West. Really sat there watching Monexo. You saw the weapon spawn in the middle, and West opted to stay center and make sure that he could get this KO.
Again, sticking with the scythe here against Monexo's sword. That weapon toss is going to bounce off the soft platform while Monexo was below it. It sort of acted like a roof over his head for the rain that was coming.
Yeah, but the pain in the rain is still continuing as West adding up the damage onto Monexo's final stock here in game number 2. But Monexo, potential to clean up this one, and I like the up toss, the risk of that ground pound from Monexo, and Monexo still finds the hit.
Gonna have his choice of weapons here. Gonna do a little bit of a juggle, of course, sticking with the guitars. Definitely the weapon that he did more damage with last game. In total, he did 379 guitar damage to the 115, sent all the way to the left side of the screen. I feel like we've seen this rerun several times on television. I want a new episode, but West doesn't. He's happy to open up Netflix, or really in Peacock in this case, and just put on old episodes of The Office that he's seen 100 times. It's victory after victory.
He likes to be able to quote the lines alongside the cast, but man, those side sigs from West, both with the scythe on the second stock and then with the lance on that final stock. And there you're seeing one side sig. He opts for a slide charge here, but doesn't even need to connect. Really well done from West to be able to clutch it up and take game number 2.
Seeing those stats in front of you right now, light attacks are actually pretty close. I think it's going to actually favor Monexo, at least in terms of accuracy. Let's look at that graph. I do be loving me a graph. That second stock, that was so skinny, which means that stock did not last very long whatsoever. It was tall like a normal stock, but skinny. So a lot of that damage was built up very, very quickly.
Yeah, really well done from West. And now we're into game number 3. Of course, no surprises to see West still on the Artemis, but Monexo can make a little bit of a skin swap going into this one.
Great spacing, able to pick up that neutral light. Didn't even have to really work for it whatsoever. He was exactly where he needed to be. That's going to get a punish. That's a nice two-piece from Monexo to add up that damage, but he is a little bit behind. Gets a punish there as well, another two-piece. You love to see those multi-hit moves, especially when you punish with a combo starter.
Yeah, I love the way that Monexo's dodging out of the side light down airs from West as well, because West is going for the sig read off of that down air, and Monexo's not giving it to him. But opportunity here, Monexo fights his way back onto the stage. West swinging, and Monexo's starting to find punishes.
I thought West was going to be way too far away from Monexo on that one, but he had the dash up side air to be able to pick that one up, sending West over to the left side. Now West has Monexo on the right side, spending some more time on the right side of the stage this time compared to the previous one where we were on the left side.
Man, I was worried that unarmed edge guard attempt, but Monexo gonna take the first stock here. West is so good at adding up the damage, but when it comes to finishing off the stock, that's where Monexo is finding his footing.
West gonna be very careful here. Doesn't want to give Monexo too much room to be able to pick up any punishes, add on any extra damage. He was just hunting for that side signature, sort of jumping himself across the stage, hitting it, and then bouncing back a little bit to get himself away from Monexo. In this case, that latter part didn't really matter because he hit the first part, sending over to the right side of the screen, and the KO. We are dead even. It is like a minute 45 into this game, and they're playing very defensively on the second stock. Coming from West, he's giving a lot of respect to Monexo and the skills that Monexo has shown so far in this game. Same thing is, of course, coming from Monexo onto one of the best players in all of South America.
Yeah, Wes really respecting the Qatars of Monexo, just saying, you know what, I have not been having that much success against you, and so I gotta play this one smart. This is not a guaranteed W.
Man, every time Wes is throwing out one of these attacks, Monexo finds a punish.
All right, Monexo with the weapon advantage. Wes finds a lance, but man, look at the damage. Monexo has found more hits onto Wes's second stop.
Oh, he jumps away from that one. Maybe expected the little defensive downlight sort of get off me tool coming, so he just didn't opt for the immediate punish.
Yeah, Wes definitely was trying to protect himself, saw that he whiffed, went for the downlight.
Ooh, he almost ran into that orb. That was very close.
Yeah, could have drifted into it, but that weapon toss actually halts the hitboxing there. The side air Monexo, does he have the jumps? Awkward weapon toss. Okay. Second attempt.
That is the Lance player classic right there. Hitting that recovery towards the stage, bouncing your opponent off of it, just praying for the kill, and it doesn't come.
Wes going for the second recovery, the exhausted one. Again, struggling to finish off these stocks of Monexo. Monexo's doing such a good job of avoiding those finishers. And unfortunately for Wes, he doesn't have a true combo knockout tool, right? He doesn't have like a downlight side air, a downlight recovery, the way that some of the other characters would have, but a nice side air. Wes
taunting after that one. I think he's just happy he finally got the stop. I want everyone to pay attention to the graph. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of time to pause on it, because I think those second stocks, actually for both players, because this game is long, it is going to be a wide second stock, and I think they're also both going to be very tall, because a lot of damage had to be built up now on both players before they're finally able to take away the second stock of their opponent.
Yeah, but this third stock is going to be tall and skinny as Wes gets a quick game number 3 under the bell.
Give us that graph. Tell the players to wait.
Yo, but look at the footsies here. That was like a quick draw at high noon kind of situation, right? Neither one of them wanting to put out a hitbox and put themselves into those active frames. And you saw Wes, he saw the bell tick and found the side sig. Man, that was a scary situation for both of them.
You see them both there, hand at the hip. Their fingers are twitching just a little bit, waiting to see if the other one makes the move first. Please give us the graph. Please give us the graph. Look at, oh my goodness, so much damage had to be done. Those graphs are tall, except for that final stock that came so quickly for Wes, but look how long each one of those. That meant that Wes had to put out a lot of damage, and he did not put it out very quickly whatsoever.
Yeah, 506 put out on the Lance alone, including also there's the 48 from the Scythe and 115 from the unarmed. So he's putting out a lot of damage. Again, a reminder for you people at home, around 450 is like the theoretical optimal amount of damage
that's like
that
perfection.
you would need.
If you get your opponent into red and then you also have like a juice or heavy weapon that can take out really early, or you hit a signature, something like that. But if you add up the total damage, 669 that Wes had to do, we're going to divide that by 3 because it's easy math. That is 223 per stock. That is a lot of damage. The fact that that game was so long means it was also pretty inefficient, but he did still take the W out. Monexo is not going to let this one be easy for him. I think you and I thought maybe it wasn't going to be easy, but at least going to be easier than this. The way Monexo is fighting back into this one, even now swapping over onto the Sentinel. If we want to talk about those heavy weapons that can get those early KOs, he has the hammer now. Of course, that signature kit from Sentinel, we've seen it be really nasty in the past, even though we don't see it used a lot.
Yeah, not only all of that, but also there's the true KO confirmed. The place where Wes has been struggling the most, now Monexo has it in spades, and he's getting the damage done. The Qatar is not struggling as the end sig, the ceiling just a little too high.
Wes over on the edge. Oh, he tried to grab the side air right over the corner to catch Wes a little bit too high on that wall. Wasn't able to find it. Monexo still mostly in control of this game so far. Even though he was sent over to the edge, he's able to get back. So is Wes. You're seeing that recovery come out from Wes. He's hoping to pick up a KO or at least set up a juggle opportunity there. Heavy weapon in hand. Monexo almost grabbed the downer. The thought was right. The timing wasn't quite, but there's the D-Light into the side air. Gets the KO. Minute 10 into this one. Monexo's going to take the lead.
Yeah, things looking good for Monexo. Wes definitely got some damage built up onto Monexo, so he could find a finisher, but this is a Scythe we're talking about. Generally a tool that will struggle to knock out. That sidelight doesn't even put him far off the stage.
Now let's think about this. Look at the set count so far, the game count in this set. It's 2-1 in favor of Wes. Monexo is in the lead here. Let's just do a little bit of theorizing. What happens if Wes loses this set and goes down? I think that could possibly mess up a lot of people's predictions going into this one, but Wes is trying to make everybody at home feel very safe and secure.
He's reassuring
in their predictions. He's putting out this damage pretty quickly. He is in the lead here on this second stock. Of course, he's also in the lead in the set. Has the weapon advantage here. He was playing around it for a little bit, made sure he had enough time to throw his weapon away, pick up a new one, sends Monexo over to the side, has the weapon advantage, gets the KO. Now game definitely in Wes's hands.
And it's interesting to note that Wes has definitely been playing out the Scythe for this game number 4, right? He's had multiple opportunities to swap over to the Lance, and more often than not, he just ends up priming another Scythe. Goes for the read there. Monexo is going to find the punish.
Monexo has Wes in the red. Picks up a signature. You see him throwing him out. He really wants it. We've seen Wes dodge through the last two. First was the side. Second one was that neutral signature coming out. There's the side light. He goes for the chase dodge into the side sig again. Doesn't find a connection there. The damage is building up on Monexo's final stock, building up on Monexo's final hope to tie up the set, send it to a game 5, keep himself alive in the winner's bracket. Otherwise, he's going to have to go down into the loser's bracket and fight for his life.
Okay, but the side air is coming out. Monexo in trouble. Like you said, playing to stay in the winner's side of things. A D-Light side air would do it, Monexo. Waiting for his opportunity to do it. You see how Wes is playing above it. The scoop up, okay. Stock count evened up, but Monexo has to play a perfect stock here.
He's going to have his choice of weapon. It's going over onto the Katars. We really haven't seen too much hammer from him whatsoever. Is he going to be able to weapon starve this from Wes? I think he had the option to, if instead of immediately going in, he backed up and quickly swapped out his weapons, but maybe he didn't feel comfortable in getting the Katars back and didn't want to be stuck on hammer.
Yeah, I mean, just the threat of being locked into the hammer, I think it was just too much for Monexo. You know he's comfortable on these Katars. It's what's gotten him this far. Side sig, no punish! Monexo just watches as it happens.
He was so far away, and now he actually gave Wes the scythe. I was wondering if he was going to maybe take the hit and go for the hammer just to deny the scythe from Wes. This is why he didn't pick that up. He wanted the option to add up all that damage with the Katars. Now he has his KO weapon in hand. He could be taking this. We could go to a game 5.
Very real possibility. Needs a little bit more damage. The side air almost puts him off screen or off stage. Wes, okay. Monexo comes up, misses the stomp. This could go either direction. Monexo trying to get to game 5. Wes missing the recovery. He's fishing for anything that bounces, so it's going to eat some of the force. Monexo, he throws away the hammer.
There's a weapon all the way on the right side of the stage.
He can't get it.
Oh, that sent him too far after the weapon toss. Almost got caught in that recovery, but not
quite.
quite.
Everyone?
The Nair, that actually almost sent him off screen. That's insane. That didn't KO off the top. Monexo with the weapon advantage. In comes the Lance for Wes. This one's a nail biter. A long game. That's not a true combo. Monexo finds the recovery, gets the KO. We're going to a game 5.
What a battle. Dodge after dodge, narrowly avoiding death, and Monexo finds the hit. Like you said, a game 5 now in our hands.
So many incredibly close, intense moments as that game started to wind down. And that was a long game, too. I think it was like 3:21, 3:20 towards the end. That is a 4-40-second long game. That is a very long game to be playing Brawlhalla, especially against an incredible player like Wes or an incredible player like Monexo. Now we're seeing that Volkov swap.
The pocket pick for Wes. Not too surprised to see the scythe definitely working out for Wes in the last couple of games. Holy, he went for it.
I hate Wes's Volkov so much. You've already seen him throw out so many signatures, dude. It drives me nuts.
He is hitting those signatures, and it's not just like raw, just hitting it and doing nothing and going about his day. He's hitting it and going for follow-ups as well. Wes, this is like completely different from the way he was playing the Artemis.
He's so good with these signatures. He's so good on Volkov. We've seen Volkov's signatures. He had like a little bit of a heyday in the past where people were throwing them out like crazy. Wes is sort of one of the few who's still on it. You see the taunt coming out. He knows that one. Quicker stock coming in about 50 seconds on this one. I don't think that Wes will really struggle to KO very much at all in this game whatsoever with these signatures. Oh, he's going. He is feeling himself so much.
Okay, Monexo going to punish him for fishing with that side signature. But still, man, Wes is getting damage after damage, getting 3-4 hits on top of it. With the sig inside of it, Monexo not finding these punishes.
He sure doesn't know how to punish it.
I mean, Volkov is not the most played legend in competitive. It's a rare matchup, and if Monexo doesn't have the experience in it, which right now it's looking like he doesn't, he's got to learn on the fly.
I'm so mad watching Wes do this. It drives me crazy, man, because I don't know how to beat it.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's so good. Wes is so successful with it. Monexo does find a stock there, but he's really far behind. There will be a weapon dropping in shortly. There it is. Wes happens to be right place, right time. Grabs that one. It is going to be the side. Picks the signature up straight away. I can't wait to look at the stats on the number of signatures he has thrown out compared to light attacks.
This is a full stock lead for Wes, and he is just pushing it further and further. This pocket pick of the Volkov really working out for Wes.
I don't know why Surus doesn't play Volkov on the dev stream, because he's going to do this anyway. Might as well do it with a character that can successfully do it. like Wes's Volk.
I don't know if Surus can do it the way that Wes can do it, because it takes a special breed to be able to hit these SIGs and go for those follow-ups. Again, it's not just, oh, he's throwing out side SIG after side SIG. Sure, he is, but he's also hitting it and then following up, chasing up, going for a GC side light into a nair, into a side air afterwards, and it's definitely getting into Monexo's head.
Dude, if I have to see Wes do this today, and then if I have to see like Zapapi do this on Azot tomorrow, I don't know, I might retire, bro.
I mean, right now, he's looking to make Monexo retire with the way that he is throwing these out. And there it is. Wes, just like that, complete domination, crushes Monexo and takes it 3-2.
All right, let's see what we're looking at here. Damage dealt 641. Signature usage. See if we can find that in the stats. I'm trying to look for the stats here, but they're going to be more nicely presented.
Yeah, they might show up on screen in
for
just a little bit.
And the viewers at home once we get to it.